to another Short and Sweet, where the reviews are short.
And it's really sweet that they shared it with us.
Today we have the Four Roses Small Batch Limited Edition 135th Anniversary Edition. Four Roses Small Batch.
You said a lot there.
Yeah.
But can you hear it, Chad?
Yes.
Do you hear it?
Here's another thing that we will never see. We probably also won't ever see, but here's the thing. This has won blind a best of the year for us. So it is something that we like to take time to review.
Right, and people will email us or Instagram message us or YouTube comment, oh, I did have a chance to get this I won a lottery for my local liquor store and it's between this and that. Which one should I get? Or, I have the opportunity to trade for this or whatever. So for the people who find themselves in that scenario,
there's a use case.
There is a use case. We recognize it's not everybody, but
yeah, absolutely.
As you said, Chad, if it is going to be one of the best things that we tasted all year, it's worth reviewing.
We want to share our thoughts anyway. And it is LE season, so
buckle up.
You're gonna see a lot of these limited edition reviews out there. This was shared to us by the distillery. Again, it might be the only time that we get to try it.
Perhaps you'll get to try it at a bar.
At a bar, exactly.
And admittedly, we will attempt to balance out our reviews of LEs with
always
more available on the shelf things.
Yes.
This does not jump out to me as typical Four Roses nose.
Yeah, the nose isn't coming off with that, hey, I'm this year's
floral
LE
spice.
type of thing.
Yeah. I did notice from the recipe breakdown that it is OE heavy. I'm an OB girl myself, so I find myself gravitating towards the OBs, which is the higher rye mash bill. It's 4 recipes. OBSV is a 25-year, an OESV that is a 16-year, another OESV that's a 12-year, and an OESK that's a 14-year.
Wow, so the youngest in this is 12, the oldest is 25. Yeah, on the nose, it's just sort of like your classic caramel and vanilla, but there is oak.
Which
I feel
I think
like
is coming from that.
Those older ones are poking through with that. And then spice-wise, I can't really drill down.
It's kind of like a delicate.
On the nose as to exactly what it is, but you're always better on the nose after you have a sip. So, to your health. Okay. On the palate, it's much more evident that we're dealing with a limited edition. Yeah. Something special. This is the 16th release of their limited editions, and as we said, it's their 135th anniversary. More of a allspice and clove type of spice. Now that I've had a drink.
Pretty oak forward, which for me is sometimes.
On the finish, yes, not on the palate.
I have a threshold.
Yeah, you do, but I don't feel like this is like a Knob Creek 18 type of threshold.
It's not.
What are we doing with proof-wise, by the way? Oh, it's so small. Pinch to zoom.
56%.
We think it's 112.
I like the oak. It does. It goes a little too oaky for me personally. I find it a little drying on the finish.
Not me.
I can think of other Four Roses LEs that I would prefer.
We just had the 2020 the other night.
And it was very excellent. Yes. For me, I think when we get that oaky, personally feel that mouthfeel gets sacrificed sometimes by the oak and how tannic and bold it is. So that's kind of why I feel that way. I like it, but I don't know if this is like the one for me.
I mean, we'll find out. I think this is worthy of going into our blind best of the year contention.
Having been a previous year winner, I think it would be nice to know where it lands.
I have a higher oak threshold than you, Sarah. I'm not finding this dry because dry is a killer on a whiskey for me. And I feel like the oak is just giving me thoughts of this is a mature, well-aged whiskey, and I'm really liking that.
Before I drink too much more of it, though, we should probably let it sit for a few minutes.
Yeah, let's let it sit.
Let it open up. I mean, I recognize that it's already been poured into a media bottle, so there's been like that interaction.
What can we talk about while we wait? I know. How about whiskyambitions.com? It's our home on the internet for our t-shirts like this Whiskey Neat
Rye or
the Rye or Die, which has got the design.
No, in green.
Yeah, on the back now in the rye color of green, right? But of course, our Glencairns we're drinking from. We also have rocks glasses, water glasses, copitas. We have challenge coins and pins, a new batch of bottle cut candles. More always coming soon, including event tickets, which is there right now. All at whiskyambitions.com.
And you can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. And for just $1 a month, you can join our community, and that is where we release discounts on that merch that Chad was talking about, depending on your tier, exclusive barrel picks, first crack at things like events and those barrel picks, and all kinds of other stuff.
All right, we're gonna let it sit here. Power of editing. We'll be right back.
10 minutes later.
Well, that was no time for you, but we sat here for a little bit. Now let's see if it's opened up more in the glass, if it has changed.
A little more desserty on the nose now.
It is. I get more. It's more of like a rich dessert vanilla now.
I agree with that.
And the
more
oak,
like cake. It smells like freshly baked cake.
And oak without it being too oak heavy on the nose. Now, palate. It's getting better as it opened up in the glass. It really is getting better to me.
I mean, I do really like it, but it's just hard because I feel like they've set such a high bar for themselves, and it's all gonna come down to preference too.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that this is not quality. It is quality. I'm just saying, like, for my personal preference, I can think of other years that more fit what I like when it comes to Four Roses.
Yeah.
Again, I'm really not surprised because, like I said, I am more leaning towards the OB recipes, and this is more OE heavy, which,
yeah, it's true.
you know, the only OB in here is the 25 years, so I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's the least amount used just because of the age.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Woo!
I mean, here I am. I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
I would not pass this bottle up for retail. I think that it is one that you would enjoy with yourself and friends if you are so generous.
If you have a low oak threshold like I do, though, you might want to consider this one. Consider getting it if you can have a pour beforehand at a bar, or like we're gonna be at Kentucky Bourbon Fest this week, and like Bourbon in the Air on Thursday. Sometimes there are limited special pours, so if you could get a sample at like a bourbon festival or something, that's always the way to go.
Absolutely. That's where we'll leave it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here, and we'll see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, Four Roses. Until next time, drink more bourbon.